good afternoon, and everybody on the West Coast. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and everybody else in between this great, big, beautiful country of ours. Hi, how you doing? What do you know? What do you say? What's up? What's happening? I ain't got the shit out of my pockets yet. Oh, my goodness sakes. What a piece of shit. Oh. Okay, it's not a kid's show. You got any crumb munchers, rugrats running around? Kick their ass outside. If it's nice, they should be in school. If they're little, put them for a nap. Get them an Xbox, PlayStation, or iPad with headphones on. Do all that kind of crazy shit, okay? Because we let it fly here. This is not a kid's show. It's for big people. Man, I should do this every day. You know that? But I keep forgetting. It's just me. Just me. Sue says, hey, GOP, stop being cunty. I told you this is not a kid's show. You have been warned. Okay, I'll count to 10. Okay. Are they out of here? Did you get them out of here? Go. Go play. Go play. Okay, the pace of politics is so damn slow, it's maddening. It's one of about 150 reasons why I could never be a politician. The other 149 reasons involve a lot of questionable behavior in my 20s and 30s and yesterday. So way to go, Suze. Hey, GOP, stop being cunty. That's from her. Ain't this... Oh, we're just dragging today, boy. I tell you what. What's all this shit? Coco's putting this out there. For those sharing pictures of Kyle Rittenhouse cleaning up graffiti, here's Charles Manson playing guitar in church. Ha ha! There you go. There you go. Uncovering the truth, I ask again, why did we petition so hard to ban terrorist Trump from Twitter, only to have every single journalist, reporter, and media outlet share all of his statements on Twitter? This is true. The media is only after a story. Story equals money. That's what Tom Davis says. And James Colin Bresick says, Chucky series is a real treat. Make sure you watch. And Coco says she's watching this weekend. Yeah, okay. Oh, boy. Susan posts, some people will only like you if you fit inside their box. Don't be afraid to shove that box up their ass. Something I learned. Susan says something I learned a long time ago. Always, always, always be yourself. Then you will always be happy. John Donnie says, okay, I'm returning to work. All right. Oh, boy. All right. Dave Morningstar posts an article from The Guardian. Kyle Rittenhouse judges in spotlight after angry reprimand of prosecution. Kate Hernandez says, I saw it. It was disgusting. He didn't allow Kyle to be impeached by the prosecution for something that is normal at trial, and he kept coming to Kyle's defense. The judge is so biased. I guess you don't want to see that young man go to jail. Gaia says, happy Veterans Day, fellow veterans. And that's what today is, Veterans Day. I should be off today. I should be sitting on my ass. Taking it easy. Get the hell out of here. You know what? Veterans don't like, you know, it's no big deal. Just like any other day. At least it is to me. Veterans Day. Well, thank you for appreciating and calling me a baby killer and everything else. It's funny how people can change. After they see all the damage that they did, then they decide to make it better. Oh, we're going to honor the veterans now. Hey, a lot of us are still bitter about that. Man, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. And especially right before I got out, having to deploy to Washington, D.C. for riot control. No. That was in 1972. Look it up. The Marines, along with everybody else, was sent up there to Washington, D.C. for riot control. Riot control. Talk about being called names there. Boy. Protests. And here goes. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Neighbor's running his tank, cutting his estate over there. Yep. All right. I don't know who this guy is. Stella Ippy replied, okay, Ricky Johnson says most elderly have sex lives more dormant as is not. Though there's a pair whose sex life is definitely hot. Their roleplay involves flamethrowers and a wartime plot. Burned their house down just last night. I saw the empty lot. Sent them superhero suits. I hope they give a shot. BSS. Aubrey says, I have so many questions. Stella Ippy says, oh my. Oh my, oh my. Christopher Haynes Benz, if the world's leading democracy doesn't believe in its own values, why should dictators even bother paying lip service to them? We must defend these principles that inspire advocates of liberty, Mangled News, folks. Liberty, and provide a crucial check on tyrants. This is dragging, isn't it? Oh, look at this. Chuck Lane. Hi, check out our Mangled News show airing in 2 minutes. Really? Again, not one out of all the people, not one like. What is up with that? I just can't. I'm just falling through the cracks here, bub. But that's okay. I don't give a shit. Maybe that's why the show's going to shit. What do you think? Boy, I had a big thing last night. Boy. Yesterday. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Let's read some news. Here, Daniel Craig says, I love dry vaping herb. Some people call it herb. Other people call it herb. I love dry vaping herb. Have for nearly a decade. It's so clean and medicinal by comparison to smoking, especially with the right device. Here's some cool charts that I like to nerd out on that provide insight to the right temperatures for the right cannabinoids and terpenes. Now, see, people make their whole living out of this stuff. You know, it used to be, hey, just roll a joint. You know, let's smoke a joint. Okay? They got Colombian, you know, Panama Red. You know, just smoke the frickin' joint. I'll tell you one thing. You ever smoke cocaine-laced frickin' herb? Wow. Okay. So, everything is like black. You know, like the deepest, darkest technicolor you could ever see. I can't even wake up. It was like, holy shit. So, anyway, that was years ago. Don't get me wrong. It was freaking a long time ago. Yep, that was in Marine Corps days. I hate to say it. But, hey, most of us were. Nathalie Jacoby says, I wonder why the trial for the killing of Ahmaud Arbery is not getting the same news coverage as Kyle Rittenhouse trial. There you go. And yes, that's sarcasm in my voice. Yes, why isn't his trial getting, there you go. They got 3 white guys on trial for murder, and they aren't even covering it. Kyle Rittenhouse, on the other hand, he killed 3 people, and he's all, Doc Zombie says stop donating to the Dems. What? Oh, we got somebody here. Wow. Dear AR-15 collectors, I have an ultra-rare Civil War AR-13 in fine condition. Email me with offers over $65,000. What is this? Stop them. What? If you don't like... Okay, here's this thing. I don't know why he put that up there. If you don't like the language on this account, you must love what the Republicans are doing to you. Oh, okay. That makes sense, right? You got to think this shit through. I had a couple things happen yesterday. I don't want to talk about them on here. Talk about them later. We'll talk about them later when I feel better. Okay, here you go. New York City. This New York Post, CBSLocal.com, 9 hours ago. And this is cool. New York City Veterans Day Parade returns in person for the first time in 2 years. New York City is hosting its first Veterans Day Parade in 2 years. Other events honoring our heroes will also be held around the city after being scaled back last year because of the pandemic. COVID protocols will be in place, but organizers say since the parade is an outdoor event, it is open to guests regardless of vaccination status. Well, I would hope so. While Memorial Day honors those who died in military service, Veterans Day celebrates all the brave men and women, both the living and the dead. So there you go. The in-person return of the 102nd Annual New York City Veterans Day Parade will begin with a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Eternal Light Flagstaff in Madison Square Park. The parade starts promptly after that at 12:30. Okay, 200. Listen to this. Wow. I was going to cut this off, but I'm not. Roughly 200 marching units, including bands, floats, and vintage vehicles, will step off at the 29th Street and 5th Avenue and march north up 5th Avenue to 45th Street. So 29, 39. What is it? 29, 39, 16 blocks maybe, huh? Wait a minute, 29, 39, it's 10, 39, and then 45, 95, 6, 16 blocks. Okay. This year we are back, paranoid operator. Yeah, right. Okay, so, that's all them good drugs. That's all them good drugs from the 60s, I guess. 70s, okay? No, 60s. No. See? I can't even remember. Okay, this year we are back, parade organizers. Nick Angioni, chairman of the United War Veterans Council, told CBS 2 the parade is the biggest time to really say thank you and celebrate veterans on Veterans Day. So if you're going and looking in your mail, you're not going to get any today. Well, even tomorrow you might not. The Joy's in charge there, so you might not even get it today. Veterans Day Parade 2021, start time, route, and how to watch live. That's on That's on Newsweek. This was 7 hours ago. Rain or shine, the 2021 Veterans Day Parades will go ahead today across the country. Okay, so 12:30, right after the show, you could tune it in. How about that shit? Ain't that cool? The biggest parade in the country will be held in New York City. And if you can't line the streets to watch it in person, you can watch it on TV or online too. So, current members of the armed forces, veterans, and first responders will take part in the event, while this year's Grand Marshal is retired U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Kevin Carrick. 2021 will mark the 102nd Annual Veterans Day Parade, as the year also marks the 20th anniversary of the response to 9/11, as well as the 30th anniversary of Desert Storm. See, there's interesting shit going on here, bud. Oh, here we go. Another New York. We're getting heavy on New York here, folks. Rockefeller Center Christmas cut down for Journey to New York City. That's wonderful. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree was cut down Thursday to begin its trip to the city. It's expected to arrive in Midtown on Saturday. Last week, the 79-foot Norway spruce was bound and packed up in Elkton, Maryland. This is the first year the tree is from Maryland. Workers will wrap it with more than 50,000 lights, and the tree will be lit up on December 1st. So if you want to watch that, or you want to read that article, Arthur, CBS News Team. November 11th, 11:15 a.m. This is brand new. Rockefeller Center Christmas cut down, all that stuff. Here. This is a good thing, in a way. If you're involved here, I got to do this here real quick. Okay. What happened? Even it took that long to load up? Man, I screwed around and it's to announce on. Okay. Missouri law would require drunk drivers to pay child support if they kill parent. Called Bentley's Law. State Representative Mike Anderson plans to introduce Bentley's Law during the next legislative session. A Missouri woman who lost 3 loved ones in an alleged drunk driving crash is trying to help children who lose parents in similar circumstances. Cecilia Williams is urging legislators to support a proposed new law she named Bentley's Law after her 5-year-old grandson. After her 5-year-old grandson, period. She began working on the new legislation that targets drunk drivers after an accident in April, claiming the lives of her son, Cordell Williams, 30, his fiancée, 25-year-old Lacey Newton, and their 4-month-old son, Cordell Sean Michael Williams. Newton and Williams also had 2 young sons who survived, who Williams is now caring for. The main aspect of Bentley's Law is financial responsibility by the offender, Williams told KMOV. So if you want to read the rest of this article, it sounds really interesting. And that's in Missouri. That's in Missouri. So Missouri. Not misery, Missouri. So, hey, wonder if they could make that a federal law. Pay the child support. You killed somebody's parent, they should do that with everything. I mean, it's hard you pay support in jail, but they can take all your money that you're making in jail, which is what? It used to be 25 cents an hour. How much are they paying people in jail to work now? 50 cents? I don't know. Haven't been there. Don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm serious. I've never been there. Never. I've been overnight a couple places, but, the steel cement Hilton, I don't know what the hell they call it. Okay, foreign policy 2 days ago. Australia shows the world what decoupling from China looks like. The bottom line, Beijing's attempt to bully Canberra has been a spectacular failure. When Australia had a here we go. Let's see what happens with this article. This sounds really, really interesting. When Australia had the temerity to call for an independent inquiry into the origins of COVID-19 last year, China was incensed. It responded with an unprecedented wave of trade restrictions that froze many categories of Australian exports, rapidly decoupling economic ties. But if Beijing hoped to punish Canberra for its defiance with economic pain and sending a warning to other countries not to oppose China, it has failed on both accounts. The impacts on Australia have so far been surprisingly minimal. You can't say that about Walmart. And maybe a whole ton of Amazon. Okay, because they're going to be skablat. They're going to have to find really other American products really quick, which means a lot of people are going to go to work, which means they better raise wages or people ain't going to go to work. Something like that. The impacts on Australia have so far been surprisingly minimal, what I said. If this is what decoupling from China looks like, Australia's resilience suggests the costs are far lower than many have assumed. The fact will not be lost on other countries that have differences with China. Australia-China relations have long been marked by a fundamental tension. Economically, the two sides have been increasingly intertwined, with Australia providing many of the commodities on which China's industry relies. But politically, much divides them. Beyond differences on values and human rights, Australia is concerned by China's increasingly belligerent behavior in the Indo-Pacific. China, meanwhile, bristles at what it believes to be Australia's anti-China stance. Over the past several decades, the two countries operated under an implicit bargain to shelter their rapidly growing economic ties from any political differences. Yep, so yeah. Oh my gosh, let me see what we got here. I'm going to go over here and do this here real quick. I'll see you. Oh, here, what? I just want to send a smiley face. There you go. There you go, and I'll send it. Ta-da! Anyway, I just had to do that. What is going on here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a ticket. So anyway, there we go. Okay. Over the past several decades, two countries operate under an implicit bargain to shelter their rapidly growing economic ties from any political differences. It worked from 2009 to 2019. Australian exports to China tripled to 149 billion Australian dollars, around 110 billion American dollars per year. Around half of that is iron ore. Okay, iron ore, which fuels China's insatiable need for steel to fuel its construction boom. The rest is mainly coal, gas, and agricultural products, plus substantial Australian earnings from Chinese students and tourists. This bargain held even when relations hit a rough patch, such as in 2009 and 2017, with trade increasing every year. The bargain suddenly broke down last year. In April 2020, the Australian government led an international call for an independent inquiry into the still murky origins of COVID-19 in Wuhan, China. An incensed Beijing quickly denounced Canberra's call as an affront and a political witch hunt. So why would it be a political witch? Oh, well, because China controls everything over there, and Wuhan is also a part of it. It's monkey shit, folks. It's monkey shit. So whether it was monkey shit developed, the virus was found in monkey shit in a lab or outside in a great white world where people accidentally stepped in it and cleaned it off and then touched their face to whatever they did. And then, I don't think they eat monkey shit over there. No, I don't think they do. Not even. And here's the question. They want iron ore, coal, and these other natural commodities. Well, did China mine all of their shit out already? Are they minerally bankrupt? Are they metally, METALLY, bankrupt? I don't know. Oh, no, this is scary. The Hill 1 hour ago. Man breaks world record by standing on hot air balloon 2 miles above the Earth. 28-year-old Remy Arvard broke the standing record in a balloon piloted by his father, Jean-Daniel Arvard, of France's Téléthon. I'll try to read it in French. A French balloonist on Wednesday set a new world record for standing on top of a hot air balloon at altitude. Arvard, who previously broke a record in 2020, reached a peak altitude of 4,016 meters. That's 17,175 feet for you Americans. When he passed the 3,500 meters, I knew that we could get the 4,000, Arvard said. A French balloonist on Monday set a new world record for standing on top of a hot air balloon at altitude. Okay, so who gives a fuck? No, I ain't reading that. I'll read the top and you decide. Romania wants more U.S. troops in Black Sea region to deter Russian aggression. This is from the Zero Hedge 6 hours ago. Good luck to you. Here's something from American Military News. Okay, we'll do this one. GOP lawmakers call on Biden to send U.S. troops weapons to Ukraine amid Russian troop buildup. That might not be a good idea. I don't know. In a Friday letter to President Joe Biden, Representative Mike Turner, called for the U.S. to send more weapons to Ukraine and deploy a U.S. military presence in the Black Sea near Ukraine. The letter to Biden, which was first reported by Defense News, comes as satellite images last week observed an estimated 90,000 Russian troops gathering near the Ukrainian border and in temporarily occupied Ukrainian territories. While the recent massing of Russian forces on the Ukrainian border, we urge your administration to take immediate and swift action to provide support to Ukraine in the form of intelligence and weapons, the letter states. What the hell's intelligence going to do when you got satellite things being able to take pictures of how many? 90,000? So what intelligence, what? Intelligence like spies? You need spies to see what the hell the Russians are doing? Get out. No. In their letter, Rogers and Turner said, we also urge your administration to deploy a U.S. military presence in the Black Sea to deter a Russian invasion. The lawmakers added that Biden's administration cannot ignore Russia's continued threat to international law and Ukraine's territorial sovereignty. Rogers is the ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, and Turner is the ranking member of HASC's Strategic Force Subcommittee. So if you want to read this article, AmericanMilitaryNews.com, came out on November 8th. I know it sounded familiar. I don't know if I read it once before or not. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. NBC News 1 hour ago. They're getting them. 10 passengers accused of unruly behavior on flights face $225,000 in fines, FAA says. They flouted mask requirements, threw trash at crew members, and shoved flight attendants. The Federal Aviation Administration said one snatched cookies from another passenger. 10 passengers have been hit with fines totaling $225,287 due to alleged unruly behavior on flights. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. Blah, blah, blah. And my time is up. So if you want to read this article, where the hell is it? U.S. News. So anyway, that's it. There we go. I had a great time. NBC News 1 hour ago. 10 passengers. So anyway, I had a great time. I don't know about you. My throat's freaking gravelly. Oh my God. Gravelly ain't the word, is it? So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye to the radio people. I'm going to say goodbye to you. Stay tuned for Max Mix Show, and then Ladies, and then Dubstep, and then Headbangers, Heavy Metal, all that crazy shit. So you guys have a good day. I had fun. I don't know about you. But I did. I had fun. Come on, what are you going to do? Okay, thanks. And I say goodbye to you. Let's say goodbye. Goodbye, folks. Have a good day. Have a good day. Be careful. Don't get that wrong. Be safe. No.